Well, hello, Law 30 students. I thought I would put together this screencast here just so you could see just a few things that maybe I haven't been able to show you through some of the voice threads. So what I'd like you to do, or what I'd like to show you is just a couple of the features in the Law 30 course here. So if you notice, you've probably seen this page, in fact you should have already. So what I try to do is in this section right here, try to have a PowerPoint presentation of just what you're supposed to do every day in Law 30. So if you check on this slide, there's usually today's date, and I try to keep this updated for a week. So if you can see for February 11th, which is Monday, there's a new topic called Rule of Law, and you were supposed to take a look at the presentation that I put and listen to the podcast. Now the podcasts sometimes cause some confusions because I've used those podcasts in past years, so they might refer to assignments and stuff that we've done in the past. But the information in them is still good, so that's why I keep them there. So 1.9, I have a forum activity. So you can always go back to the forum and look and see if I've responded to other forum posts that you might have put on, or you can always go back and look to see if there's new forum posts or posts that you can reply to from each other as well. Some of you have asked about the first quiz to see if it could be extended, and I have extended it to Wednesday, so please make sure you go back and do that. And then there's a video that I have. I have the link in here for the rule of law, and also it is located in the wiki, which is right here. So I'll talk about the Foundations of Law wiki. What I'll try and do is to put a wiki for each of the units, and that's basically a place where we can put some of the resources that we find online and some files, web pages, and so on. You also have an opportunity to actually contribute to the wiki, and the way you do that is you can just go into, click on it, and then you can click edit, and once it goes to edit, you can actually just add to the wiki. So if you find something that you might want to share or whatever, you can always just put it there as well. Okay, so as far as the rest of the Law 30, you have another thing that I wanted to show you here. Just basically under the topics. So these presentations, you can always go through and check out the presentations. What I've tried to do is just put some PDF notes if you wanted to run these off for your own binders. It's the same information that's contained in the presentations. And then also the law textbook. Now the law textbook is something that I put together a number of years ago, and you can open it if you have Microsoft Word. And this is basically what I used to run the course on, and it's kind of my go-to guide for all of the notes and everything. So everything that I put on presentations is also here and more. So I also have things like terms and stuff like that that are relevant to the Law 30 as well. So even reading through this would give you a really good overview and understanding of what's going on in Law 30. Okay. Now, the law text also is where the idea of these activities, so activity 1.3, 1.4, and it each kind of goes along with a section in law. Now I used to have these as assignments, but what I found was that there's a lot of assignments, and not necessarily everybody was doing a lot of the assignments anyways. So what I've done is I've tried to go to more of a quiz-based type of course. So that's the way you're going to be evaluated for the most part. However, I'll also, in the presentations and the voice threads, ask you about these questions, and that's where you can use the podcast to correct them. And it's a good idea to go through them because that's what you end up getting quizzed on. Okay, so just to go back to the law course, the other thing that I wanted to show you were these presentations, and they are called voice threads. And what they are, it's a presentation, but right down here where it says comment, you can actually comment as well. Like I think I have the presentation set in such a way that you should be able to add comments. Now, the comments can be in the form of questions. So let's say you have a question on the rule of law. All you would have to do would be able to start it, and you can actually make a comment with your webcam. You can record your voice, or you can actually type a comment as well. And in that way, if you put a new comment or if you have a question on any of the material, I can also just answer that or add to it or so on. So for instance, for this rule of law, let's say I wanted to type a comment here. I type the comment and then that save it, and then that actually becomes part of the voice thread. So what you can end up having is you can have every one of us contributing to the voice threads and making it come alive and be a very real document in that way. So please feel free, and in fact probably down the road I'll have everyone required to contribute to the voice threads, but for now I've just been using them as my main method for being able to get my content or get the content of this course across. The last thing that I should show you is the forum posts, and what I have on the forums is basically, in this case, 4 different discussion questions, and I will add to that. And you can see that some people have replied quite a bit, and the rule of law, which is today, hasn't been replied to at all. And that's just because I posted it this morning. And what I would like to do is for everybody to actually contribute to the forums. So if you're not contributing, there will be a mark that will be allocated towards discussing or adding to the discussion forums. And that basically is replacing a lot of the day-to-day assignments and activities that we used to do. So for instance, in this one, do schools protect individual rights? Some of you have obviously replied, if not all of you, to the original question. But what really makes it good and valuable is when you start to comment on other people's comments, just like any other forum. And that's where this can actually have a little bit more value. So please make sure that you are, whenever possible, responding to other people's posts and responding to the forum questions. Other than that, I haven't put the grades up yet. I have been in the process of marking your first quiz, and once that's done, I will configure the gradebook in Moodle so that you can keep track of your grades. If you need to contact me, you can either email me or you can call Vanguard Community School at 582-2134. And that should be it.